Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I've a couple of things I'd like to talk about on here, and I'd like to keep it as candid as possible. I don't want to rehearse too much. I like the I don't know what to say, but today I just want to talk about sketchbooking and the importance of having a sketchbook and actually maintaining it. You know, I'm gonna speak for myself because I think I'm the best representative of myself. I don't like to speak for other people. So, I mean, there might be a few things that I say relate to you, that you can relate to. Others not. So, throw away that which doesn't apply to you. But see if 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 it rings a bell. If you can relate to something, I'm sure there's value you can get out of what I'm gonna be rambling on about for the next few minutes. And I'm gonna talk about my struggles and how this actually, having a sketchbook actually helped me quite a bit. Look, just get a sketchbook. If you are an aspiring artist, if you are just a hobbyist, if you are not even an artist, or if you don't do art or create art at all, your sketchbook is then just a diary. You know, visual artists, have visual diaries. You have writers who journal things. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It serves the exact same purpose. But let's focus on visual art, drawing, sketching, building a habit of sketching in your sketchbook. And the habit part is the most important part, guys. It's no use we spend so much money. The sketchbooks aren't cheap, eh? If you want quality sketchbooks, especially ones with hard covers and without those wretched ring binds, which I despise quite a lot. I like my sketchbooks with hard covers. They can be protected when you're storing them. It just feels nice as well. But get a sketchbook and take it wherever you go. I'm not exaggerating at all. You might not need to have one. You can have multiple ones. For instance, I have a big one on my desk. I try not to have it too big. A4 size is the biggest I would go, because you don't want an A3 sketchbook. It just becomes too intimidating. I'm just speaking for myself. And it's nice and portable as well. Smaller ones, like A5 and smaller, I would keep in my car, in my work bag. Back in the days of me still actually going into a physical office, working from the office. Now I just work from home. And I thought it would be a lot easier to maintain my sketchbook working from home, but that did not prove to be the case. But I'll do another video on that some other time. That's a topic on its own. And I try to keep multiple ones in areas that I would find myself most times of the day. But let me give you some context about why I say it helped with my struggles. And I don't want to sound like some sort of special snowflake saying I suffer from some sort of artistic anxiety. That's my struggle. I just coined that term right now. Just made it up. But I think it's just to prove a point. And I can bet most creative people have this kind of anxiety that leads to creative block, a form of creative block, where it's writer's block or artist block, whatever kind of block it is. It's a mental block, and I firmly believe it's caused by that artistic or creative anxiety. I overthink things, like many of us. Overthink things, and I'd think of an idea I have for a new piece of art, a drawing, or one of the characters, or plot line in my book I'm working on. I think of it, I develop the idea in my head, I shoot it down because it doesn't work in my head. And that's the danger, because I'm not giving that idea time to grow organically. I just bombard it with criticism in my head in a short period of time, and I toss it out the window without actually giving it a fair chance. And when I do this for long periods of time, I have so many ideas in my head. Like, I cannot. I don't have a problem with ideas. That's the thing. I have lots of ideas, but when I actually come to having a pencil in my hand, blank piece of paper in front of me, I just hit a blank. Or there's something I wanted to type out. It's a plot line or plot device or character, certain personality traits, one of the characters from my book. I pull up Google Docs, for instance, and I just hit a blank. And it's frustrating because I have all these ideas, so many things swirling around, swimming in my mind, but when I actually need to go document it or sketch it out, I just hit a blank. Up until the time where I revisited and reinstated the habit of keeping a sketchbook. I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle with this now and then, but it's a lot less. It's a lot better. I don't hit these blank walls as often as I would before, when I took this long break from sketchbooking. You know, sometimes your life just goes down a certain path, and you need to do what you need to do, for instance, and sketchbooking was not one of the priorities, so I didn't make it a priority, unfortunately, for me. And once I started again the habit of sketchbooking, keeping a sketchbook, like I said, these blanks became less. My ideas started to make sense a lot more often. I have less of that artistic anxiety that I spoke of earlier, creative anxiety. I have less sleepless nights. I can focus on other things in the day, because I mean, making art is not the only thing you do during the day. I have a full-time job. I have a family to take care of. You know, I have other things that I'm interested in as well. So that allows me to focus on those tasks, and without me working in the garden, for instance, and just having thoughts of this idea of these characters in the book, or the things I want to draw, without those thoughts racing through my mind. Because this made me think. It's quite obvious actually, but although our minds are capable of storing an entire universe of information, we're ultimately limited by its ability to recall recent events or thoughts. You know, it can store a lot, but our ability to just recollect the stored information, that becomes the problem. And a sketchbook helps with this, in the sense that you take those ideas that are taking up so much space in your recent memory, and you give them a place to live, in your sketchbook, in your diary, in your journal, whatever it may be. and you take them out, it doesn't mean that you forget about them. It just means you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about forgetting about them. I'm sure many of us have felt this. You have this fantastic idea and it came to you out of nowhere. Maybe you're in a meeting. Maybe you're at the beach swimming. Obviously, I'm sure not many of us will take a sketchbook with us while we are swimming, in a pocket. Maybe, waterproof sketchbook. But and then we suddenly go through this mild panic where I can't forget about this idea. I need to, and you forget about the other things that you were busy with, and you keep thinking about this idea, and you overthink it, and then when time comes that you need to jot it down, you forget it. So that's why it's important to keep a sketchbook close by. Keep one in your car, for instance. If you have a car, keep one in the kitchen, in your room, wherever. Keep multiple sketchbooks. I mean, it doesn't have to be a book. Sometimes I would use my phone. I'd use a notes app on my phone, and I'd use the pen tool or draw tool, and I'd just scribble. I'd scribble the basic concept of my ideas so I don't forget about it. And I can revisit these ideas again. When I'm back at my desk, sitting down, when I made time for developing my art and my projects, I would revisit those sketched out ideas, the ideas in my sketchbook. And sometimes I'd revisit ideas that I sketched in my book 2 years ago. And sometimes you find little details there that you can use in present projects, things like that. But I mean, in essence, it's get those ideas out of your head. Get them out of your head and give them a place to live. Put them live in your sketchbook. This will, it just helps you with clarity of mind. It makes way for new ideas, new connections and observations. It just alleviates the worrying about ideas. And case in point, what you're seeing here is I had this idea earlier today to do something with color pencil. I don't use color often. I mean, if I were to put a number to it, if I've done 10,000 works of art, sketches, I've done 5 color sketches. And color is something I should explore. I've dabbled a bit with digital coloring, but it's not the same. Look, I'm not a purist, a physical medium purist. Don't get me wrong here. I love digital art, make no mistake. But just find physical art, having physical pencil in your hand, quite soothing actually. In this age where everything is digital, it's nice to just unplug now and then, we have to look after our mental states, and this helps me with that. So back to this thing you see here that I'm busy with. Just a color sketch. I said here doing 3. Just wanted to see how well these water soluble pencils can blend. What you need to do to actually have it blend properly. Clearly it's not working at all, or not as well as I thought it would. Currently doing it with an earbud, but I don't think much would change if I were to do it with a paintbrush. But I'll try a different approach. But point is, it's not gonna bug me anymore. Tomorrow I can carry on with my day, and that particular idea I had to do something in color and to blend it with water, I can park that. It's done. Don't have to worry about it anymore. It doesn't bug me, it doesn't occupy my mind. I can think about other things now. That doesn't mean I'm giving up on the whole color blending idea, not at all. I'm just going to try a different approach. Maybe I should have just shaded the areas I wanted to make purple. I don't know. They didn't give a purple color, so obviously I'm going to mix blue and red together. But I think I should do these shaded areas of blue and then lay some red over it and blend it like that. I'm sure that would have a much better outcome. But in an ideal world, I'd like to end my day in my sketchbook. I'd like to jot down ideas I had during the day, or just in the evening actually. I like the sound as well. It's really soothing. The entire house is quiet. All you hear is your pencil or pen, and just working through that book. The sound of pages, paging over. It's relaxing. I think that's much better. It's a much better mental space to be in before you go to bed than to browse memes till 3 a.m. We've been there. I'd like to start my day in the same fashion as well. Within the first hour or so, I would like to sketch in my sketchbook. Jot down ideas that came to me. Maybe I had a few dreams and I'm able to make connections, and I'd like to just start my day like it. It's another good way of starting the day instead of on your phone and social media. Sometimes I just feel like if you start your day with social media, you set yourself up for failure. Look, that's also another topic for another day. But it's all about maintaining the habit, guys. And without habit, without routine and ritual, you can't actually get better at anything. You just have to put the hours in. Even if you don't want to get better, if you find with where you're at with your art, your artwork, it's a really good routine to have a habit of keeping and maintaining a sketchbook. And don't be like me where you buy a new sketchbook and you start on the 3rd page because you are afraid of messing up the first page. Many times I miss the point of actually having a sketchbook is to mess up in your sketchbook. If you want to do framed artwork, that you're gonna put up, you don't want to mess that up. That's not to say you shouldn't be making mistakes. Sometimes some really amazing works of art come out of mistakes. I can bear witness to this. But see your sketchbook as your safe space. Mess up, experiment. Speak to yourself, be critical. Explore ideas, explore techniques. Because ultimately, for me, sketchbooking helps me be more present, to be in the moment, especially in social situations. I no longer have these ideas running through my head, and at social gatherings where I just disconnect from the people that I'm with, which I don't like that actually. When I'm with people, I like to be present with those people because they actually mean something to me. If I'm with friends and family, I want to be with them. I don't want to think about artworks. There's enough time for that. But it's about finding that balance. That's not to say that I can't get inspired by something they might say. I think obviously your mind will go into a bit of a buzz. But just for me, guys, for me personally, I need to make the best of the tools at my disposal, those tools being a sketchbook, in order for me to continue my passion for drawing and creating art. I've had this passion for as long as I'm alive, actually. As long as I can remember, I've always had passion for drawing, for having a pencil in my hand and making things on paper with that pencil. If I am not doing that, it bugs me. And I'm going to do another, I think the next video is I'm going to talk about the period of time, so the past couple of years where I've neglected my artwork, and maybe you can also learn something out of that, ways that can help you navigate if you go into a tough situation or a series of tough events in life where you kind of feel forced to neglect your passion. It might not be drawing, it might be you just don't practice the guitar anymore. I'll speak about that in the next video. But look, I have no interest in stagnating. I'd like to explore other mediums as well. I'd like to explore other subjects, and I have to keep at it. As a father, as a husband, and I have a full-time job as well. It's easy for me to just feel overwhelmed and just say, screw it, screw this. This is the end, my art journey. It's so easy for me to say that because life can get so overwhelming. But the reality is that there's no time. You have to make time for what matters. You're gonna have to sacrifice something, and what I sacrificed was, in the evenings I would play games on my PC for an hour or two at most. I thought to myself, look, you can use that hour to develop your passion again for creating art. That's not to say I need to stop playing games forever. At this moment in time, because I have very little time on my hands, very little free time, so I have to make the best use of the time available to me to make time. So I sleep less actually now, but because the evenings is when I can actually start doing the things I want. But yeah, thanks for sitting through my ramble. Yes, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Please share this video, and I hope I've said something that you can relate to. Feel free to express some of your pains you've had with keeping up with the sketchbook. What routine do you have to establish what methods do you use to establish a routine for sketchbooking, because sketchbooking must be done actively. You keep at it, and it's really satisfying at the end to have filled up a book filled with ideas, drawings, writing, scribblings. It's nice to look at. Feels like a body of work on its own. But yeah, guys, until next time, keep well, keep safe, and keep sketching.